hit the subscribe button. Currently only 1.7% of my viewers are. Subscribe once we hit 1,000 subscribers. I'll release an exclusive special video, just for you.
The spaceship hurtled through the abyss of space, its hull groaning under the strain of re-entry. Inside, Liam Kincaid's fingers flew over the controls, desperately trying to stabilize the failing craft. Sparks erupted from a shattered console, and alarms blared, filling the cockpit with an overwhelming cacophony. "Come on, hold together," Liam muttered, his Australian accent thick with stress. The ground below, a sprawling alien landscape of bioluminescent flora and unfamiliar terrain, rushed up to meet him. With a final, violent jolt, the ship crashed, skidding across the surface before coming to a shuddering halt. Liam unstrapped himself and stumbled out of the wreckage, his body aching from the impact. The low gravity made his movements feel surreal, almost dreamlike. As he tried to get his bearings, he noticed movement in the shadows. Dozens of large, luminescent eyes blinked at him from the darkness. Before he could react, he was surrounded by the Asle, their elongated, graceful forms hovering slightly above the ground. They communicated with each other in soft, musical tones, their bioluminescent skin shifting colors in complex patterns. One of them, an imposing figure with intricate patterns glowing brightly, stepped forward. "I am Zarketh," the figure said, his voice resonating with authority. "Who are you, and why have you come to our world?" "I'm Liam Kincaid," Liam replied, wincing as he straightened up. "My ship crashed here. I didn't mean to intrude." Zarketh studied him for a moment before nodding. "You are injured. Come, we will help you." The Asle led Liam to a nearby settlement, a city that seemed to float above the ground, connected by delicate bridges and supported by what appeared to be advanced anti-gravity technology. The soft glow of the city provided a calming contrast to the chaos Liam had just endured. Inside a spacious chamber adorned with intricate carvings and softly glowing crystals, Liam's wounds were treated by an Asle healer. As the soothing energy worked its way through his body, he felt some of the tension and pain ease. Zarketh reappeared, accompanied by a fierce-looking Asle warrior with a sharp, intelligent gaze. "This is Mira," Zarketh introduced. "She will assist you in understanding our world." Mira eyed Liam with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "You claim to be here by accident," she said, her tone challenging. "But your arrival coincides with an ancient prophecy." "Prophecy?" Liam repeated, frowning. "I'm just an engineer trying to survive." Zarketh nodded thoughtfully. "Prophecies can be interpreted in many ways. For now, rest and recover. We will speak more in the morning." That night, Liam lay in a chamber provided by the Asle, his mind racing. He knew he needed to repair his ship and find a way back home, but the talk of prophecies and the strange, otherworldly beauty of the Asle world intrigued him. As he drifted off to sleep, he resolved to learn more about these mysterious beings and their world. The next day, Mira escorted Liam around the city, explaining the basics of their technology and culture. The Asle society was a blend of advanced science and deep spirituality, their technology seamlessly integrated with their environment. Floating gardens, crystalline structures, and harmonious music filled the air, creating an almost utopian atmosphere. "Your arrival has stirred many emotions," Mira said as they walked. "Some, like Zarketh, see you as a potential savior. Others, like the Lax, view you as a threat." "Who's the Lax?" Liam asked, noting the tension in Mira's voice. "He is a warlord who believes in strength and conquest," she replied, her eyes hardening. "He opposes Zarketh's peaceful ways and sees your presence as a catalyst for conflict." As if on cue, a commotion erupted nearby. The Lax and his followers marched through the streets, their fierce expressions and aggressive body language a stark contrast to the usual serenity of the city. The Lax, a towering figure with dark, intense eyes, spotted Liam and sneered. "So, this is the star-fallen savior?" Thalax's voice was filled with disdain. You bring nothing but chaos to our world. Liam met Thalax's gaze steadily. I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to fix my ship and leave. Your presence alone is trouble, Thalax spat. We don't need outsiders meddling in our affairs. Enough, Thalax, Zarketh interjected, stepping between them. Liam is our guest, and he will be treated with respect. Thalax glared at Zarketh but backed down, muttering threats as he retreated with his followers. Liam sighed, the tension in the air palpable. Looks like I've got more than just a broken ship to worry about, he said to Mira, who nodded grimly. Indeed, she replied. The path ahead will not be easy. The first rays of dawn filtered through the ethereal canopy of bioluminescent flora, casting a soft glow over the floating city. Liam awoke to the sound of harmonious chimes, signaling the start of a new day in this strange, enchanting world. He stretched, feeling the low gravity ease the strain on his muscles, and prepared himself for the challenges ahead. Mira met him at the entrance of his chamber, her expression a mix of determination and curiosity. Today, you will meet with the council, she said. They wish to understand more about you and your intentions. Liam nodded, his mind racing. He needed their help to repair his ship, but the talk of prophecies and his unwelcome arrival added layers of complexity to his mission. The council chamber was an awe-inspiring sight, with its high ceilings adorned with intricate carvings and walls lined with glowing crystals. Zarketh stood at the center, surrounded by other Elder Asle, each radiating an aura of wisdom and authority. Welcome, Liam Kincaid, Zarketh began, his voice echoing softly through the chamber. We have convened to learn more about you and to determine how you fit into our prophecy. Liam took a deep breath. I'm an engineer from Earth. My ship malfunctioned, and I crashed here by accident. I have no knowledge of any prophecy, but I'm willing to help however I can. An elder with deep green patterns stepped forward. The prophecy speaks of a star-fallen one who will bring balance in our time of need. Some believe you are that figure, but we must be sure. As the elders debated, Mira leaned closer to Liam. Their skepticism is understandable. Many have seen Thalax's rise as a threat to our way of life, and your arrival could tip the scales. Thalax himself stormed into the chamber, his presence like a thundercloud. This is a waste of time, he growled. We should focus on strengthening our defenses, not coddling an outsider. Thalax, Zarketh said calmly, Liam's knowledge could be invaluable to us. Dismissing him outright would be foolish. Thalax's eyes narrowed. Very well. Let him prove his worth. Zarketh turned to Liam. There is an ancient device, long dormant, that may aid us in our defense. If you can reactivate it, it will show your intentions and capabilities. Mira and Liam exchanged a glance. Where is this device? Liam asked, his curiosity piqued. It lies in the ruins beyond the city, Zarketh replied. Mira will guide you. The journey to the ruins took them through dense forests and across shimmering rivers. Liam marveled at the alien beauty around him, each step revealing new wonders. The low gravity made the trek less arduous, but the tension between him and Mira was palpable. What's your story, Mira? Liam asked, breaking the silence. She hesitated before speaking. I was once a guardian of the ancient artifacts. When the Lax rose to power, many of us were cast aside. I joined Zarketh because I believe in preserving our heritage, not destroying it. Liam nodded, appreciating her honesty. I understand. I just want to fix my ship and get home, but if I can help you in the process, I will. They arrived at the ruins, a sprawling complex of towering structures and ancient machinery. The air buzzed with a faint, almost electrical energy. Mira led Liam to a central chamber where a massive, dormant device lay covered in dust. This is it, she said. The resonator. It was once a source of great power, but it has been silent for centuries. Liam examined the device, his engineer's mind already working. I'll need to understand how it works, he said. Let's start with the basics. Hours passed as Liam and Mira worked together, deciphering the alien technology. Liam's hands moved deftly over the controls, his concentration unwavering. Mira watched, her respect for him growing as he made progress. Finally, with a loud hum, the resonator flickered to life. Energy surged through the ruins, lighting up ancient symbols and sending a wave of power across the landscape. Mira's eyes widened in awe. "You did it." Before Liam could respond, the ground shook violently. The Lax and his warriors appeared, their expressions a mix of anger and fear. "What have you done?" the Lax roared. "You've doomed us all." Liam stepped forward, his voice steady. "No, I've reactivated the resonator. It can help protect your people." The Lax drew his weapon, pointing it at Liam. "Or it could destroy us." "I won't take that chance." Mira moved to stand beside Liam, her own weapon drawn. "The Lax, this is madness. Liam is here to help." The tension crackled in the air, a single wrong move away from violence. Zarkatha's voice cut through the chaos, arriving with other elders. "Enough, the Lax. We will not let fear dictate our actions. Liam has proven his worth." The Lax lowered his weapon, but his eyes burned with defiance. "This isn't over." The resonator's hum echoed in Liam's ears as he returned to the Asle city, the night sky above glittering with alien constellations. The reactivation had sent ripples through the community, stirring both hope and fear. Liam could feel the weight of their expectations and the looming shadow of Thalax's defiance. Mira walked beside him, her expression unreadable. "You did well today," she said quietly. "But the Lax won't let this go. He sees you as a threat to his power." Liam nodded, his mind already racing with plans and contingencies. "We need to be ready. If he moves against us, we have to defend ourselves and the city." As they entered the city, the air buzzed with anticipation. The Asle had gathered in the central square, their bioluminescent patterns glowing brighter than ever. Zarkath stood on a raised platform, his presence calming yet authoritative. "People of Asle," Zarkath began, his voice carrying across the crowd. "Today, we have witnessed the reawakening of the resonator, thanks to our new ally, Liam Kincaid. This is a sign of change, a beacon of hope. But we must remain vigilant. There are those among us who fear this change and may act against it." The Lax stepped forward, his gaze intense. "Zarkath speaks of hope, but what if this technology brings more danger than salvation? We cannot afford to be naive." The crowd murmured, torn between Zarkatha's vision and Thalax's caution. Liam felt the tension rise, a palpable force that could erupt at any moment. "The Lax," Liam said, stepping up to the platform, "I understand your concerns. But the resonator is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how we use it. Together, we can ensure it serves to protect and empower, not to harm." Thalax's eyes narrowed, but he did not respond. The crowd watched in silence, waiting for the next move. Zarkath placed a hand on Liam's shoulder, signaling trust and unity. "Let us work together," Zarkath said, addressing both Liam and the Lax. "Our future depends on cooperation, not division." The meeting dispersed, leaving Liam and Mira to discuss their next steps. "We need to understand the full capabilities of the resonator," Liam said. "And we need to keep an eye on the Lax. He's not done yet." Mira nodded. "I'll gather intelligence on his movements. You focus on the resonator. If we can show its benefits, we might sway more of the Asle to our side." Days turned into nights as Liam and Mira worked tirelessly. Liam delved deeper into the resonator's functions, uncovering its potential to enhance the city's defenses and energy supplies. Mira, meanwhile, monitored Thalax's faction, reporting back on their activities. One evening, as Liam fine-tuned the resonator, a loud crash echoed through the city. He rushed outside to find chaos. Thalax's followers had launched an attack, targeting key structures and spreading panic. Mira appeared beside him, breathless. It's an all-out assault. The Lax is making his move. Liam's mind raced. We need to get to the resonator. It might be our only chance to turn the tide. They sprinted through the city, dodging debris and skirmishes. Reaching the resonator chamber, Liam began activating its defense mechanisms. Energy shields sprang to life, creating barriers that repelled Thalax's forces. Outside, the battle raged on. Liam could hear the clash of weapons and the cries of the wounded. His hands moved with precision, adjusting settings and diverting power to critical areas. Mira fought valiantly, her movements a blur of grace and strength. She defended the chamber entrance, keeping Thalax's warriors at bay. We can't hold them off forever, she shouted over the din. Liam's heart pounded. Just a little longer. Suddenly, the resonator emitted a pulse of energy, sweeping across the city. Thalax's forces staggered, their advance halted by the sheer force of the wave. Liam seized the moment, boosting the shields and stabilizing the city's defenses. The immediate threat subsided, Thalax's forces retreated, regrouping for another attack. Mira collapsed beside Liam, exhausted but determined. We bought ourselves time, but this isn't over. Liam nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. We need to rally the city. Show them what we're fighting for. As dawn broke, casting a golden light over the battered city, Liam and Mira addressed the Asle. We stand at a crossroads, Liam said, his voice carrying the weight of their struggle. The Lax seeks to divide us, but we are stronger together. The resonator is our chance to build a future, not just for survival, but for prosperity. Zarketh stepped forward, lending his support. Liam speaks true. We must unite, not as factions, but as one people. Together, we can overcome any threat. The Asle, inspired by their leader's words, began to organize and rebuild. Thalax's shadow still loomed, but for the first time, hope shone brighter. As the city prepared for the challenges ahead, Liam and Mira knew their journey was far from over. The battle for unity had just begun, and the path to peace would be fraught with trials. But with the resonator's power and the Asle's resilience, they had a fighting chance. Liam stood with Mira, looking out over the city. We can do this, he said, conviction in his voice. Mira nodded, a fierce light in her eyes. Together. The air was thick with anticipation as Liam and Mira stood before the assembled Asle, the dawn's light casting long shadows over the city. The resonator's energy had bolstered their defenses, but the looming threat of Thalax's inevitable counterattack weighed heavily on everyone's minds. Liam took a deep breath, feeling the eyes of the Asle on him. Today, we stand not just to defend our city but to protect our future. The Lax wants to rule through fear, but we can show him the power of unity and resolve. Mira stepped forward, her voice strong and unwavering. We have prepared as best we can. Each of you knows your role. Trust in your training, trust in each other, and we will prevail. As the Asle dispersed to their positions, Liam and Mira made their way to the resonator chamber. The energy within it pulsed with a steady rhythm, a symbol of the city's newfound strength. Zarketh joined them, his presence calm and reassuring. The people believe in you, Liam. You've shown them what is possible. Now, you must lead them through this final trial. Liam nodded, determination hardening his features. We won't let them down. The first signs of Thalax's approach were subtle, a distant rumble, a darkening horizon. Soon, the full force of his army was visible, a formidable wave of warriors and war machines advancing with grim purpose. Activate the outer defenses, Liam instructed, his voice steady. We need to hold them at the perimeter as long as possible. Energy shields flickered to life, and the resonator's power surged, creating barriers that slowed Thalax's advance. The Asle defenders, bolstered by their resolve and the technology Liam had helped revive, held their ground, repelling wave after wave of attackers. The Lax himself led the charge, his presence a storm of fury and strength. He smashed through the outer defenses, his warriors rallying around him. The battle raged on, fierce and unrelenting, as both sides fought with everything they had. Inside the resonator chamber, Liam monitored the energy levels, making adjustments to maintain the shields. "We're holding, but they're pushing harder than ever." Mira, bloodied but unbowed, entered the chamber. "The Lax is getting closer. If he breaches the inner defenses, we're in trouble." Zarketh placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. "We must draw him into a final confrontation. It is the only way to end this." Liam nodded, formulating a plan. "Mira, gather our strongest fighters. We'll lure the Lax to the resonator and confront him here. It's our best chance." Minutes later, the city's defenders executed Liam's strategy, slowly retreating and funneling Thalax's forces towards the resonator chamber. The tension mounted with each passing second, the air electric with anticipation. Finally, the Lax burst into the chamber, his eyes blazing with fury. "This ends now, Kincaid. Your meddling has brought nothing but chaos." Liam stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. "It's you who's caused this strife, the Lax. Your lust for power blinds you to the potential of unity." The Lax roared and charged, his weapon raised high. Liam and Mira moved in tandem, their coordination seamless. The battle was intense, each strike echoing with the clash of ideologies as much as the clash of steel. Zarketh and the other elders lent their strength, channeling the resonator's energy to aid in the fight. The chamber glowed with a radiant light, the power of the ancient device reaching its peak. Thalax's strength was formidable, but he was outmatched by the combined might of Liam, Mira, and the resonator's energy. With a final, desperate effort, Liam managed to disarm the Lax, bringing him to his knees. "It's over, the Lax," Liam said, breathing heavily. "Surrender, and let's rebuild this city together." The Lax glared up at him, his expression a mixture of rage and realization. Slowly, he lowered his head in defeat. "Very well, Kincaid. You've won. But know this, peace is fragile. It must be nurtured, or it will shatter." Liam extended a hand, helping the Lax to his feet. "Then let's nurture it together. For the sake of our people." The battle ended, the city's defenders celebrating their hard-fought victory. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the rebuilding efforts, Liam stood with Mira and Zarketh, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "We've come a long way," Mira said, her voice soft with emotion. "From strangers to allies, and now to friends." Liam smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "There's still much to do, but we've shown what's possible when we stand together." Zarketh nodded. "The future is ours to shape. With the resonator's power and the unity we've forged, we can create a world where hope and strength coexist." As night fell, the city lit up with the gentle glow of bioluminescent flora and the steady pulse of the resonator. The Asle had faced their darkest hour and emerged stronger, their bonds of trust and cooperation unbreakable. Liam looked out over the city, his heart filled with hope. This is just the beginning. Together, we'll build a future worthy of the sacrifices we've made.